There's 40 for people, 60 for other dogs. Kind of what we found.
Gotcha. Okay. So then, like, proactively, if you saw a dog would come up to me,
we would start bringing it up with Wrinkles. Hey.
What's the number to that?
35.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and check.
Breaks.
Yeah.
Wrinkles. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Let's pretend like we practiced.
Yeah.
You know what you're
Yeah.
doing.
What's the number now? 40. Let's go to 30. That was just to see if I could to de-escalate him. So like if you're standing still and he starts to get really agitated like this, so like here, right? Go tap, tap, tap. Okay. So that third hit is that's not physical discomfort, that's frustration. See how I keep staring at the dogs here?
Yeah.
So when you're tapping here, essentially what you're saying is don't worry about those dogs, right? But because he's so, I don't say attached, but he's so like I want something to do with those dogs. The tapping is, and that yip is not discomfort, that's just like, I don't want to disengage with that right now. It's more some frustration, okay? So you see how he's standing and looking still? Go and just tap, tap, and hold for a second. See what he does. Good. And hold for a second, and tap. Wait a moment. A little bit better. Okay, so what we want to create here, any other dog would just go like this. If this is their head, right? They would just go, okay, cool, you don't want me to look at those dogs, right? But you see how he starts to pine? Mm-hmm. That's the, I see a dog, I want to play with the dog, starting to escalate. So if you ever want to test his impulse control, and you know, maybe it's a friend's dog or something like that, okay. And then now you can stand still, pull your left hip, there you go, up, step, right there, and then relax. Good. Is you can try to get him to disengage. Okay. Now here, even though he's zipping, what do we get? He's still right back at 30 in the paw, right? So it tells me that, what's your number right now, 30? Let's go back to 35. Is once you hit the appropriate number, he's going to disengage and not want anything to do with them. Okay, so that's a little bit better. There we go. And then to your left, yep, good. And then up, yep. 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 Yep, 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 yep. Okay, now he's just giving up on life. So what you need to do here is stay where you are, light pressure forward, tap, 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 go and bump it. Tap, 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 go and bump it. Tap, 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 right, go and bump it. Tap, tap, almost, there it is. Good, and then relax. Good. Right? So when he's doing that, like a kid when they throw themselves on the ground, you ever play that move? That's what that is.
They did it last week.
So here, I'm just gradually going up with that power to get him to break from that mindset. Okay? Where are we at now?
58.
58. Give it tap. Yep. There he goes. I'm going to go ahead and have you show me what you've been practicing for the week. Okay, go for it.
Wrinkles. Yep.
Relax your arm. There you go. Go ahead and turn. Keep forward, good. Tap forward, good. Good. And when you walk with them, does he walk for the most part like this?
Yeah, sometimes what I wanted to ask is like sometimes he'll get, well he's not going to do it now of course, like maybe 6 inches ahead of us.
Okay.
Maybe more than that.
Like this sometimes.
Oh, Jesus.
This is not taunt. He's not pulling at all.
Sure.
He's just a little bit ahead.
That's a lot of bit. That's a lot of bit too.
Okay.
Anything more than an inch is a lot for me. So it's, so when he gets ahead, how did you feel about that?
We would correct.
Okay,
If he wasn't too far ahead, we would kind of let it be, but if he started getting too far, we would turn.
okay. So right there, when you said like, if it was a little bit ahead, it was fine, but then it became too far, then we correct?
Yeah.
That's too vague for him.
And then my question was, so say he gets a little bit ahead, do I always need to turn
And
then
tap?
redirect? Or if he gets a little bit ahead, can I tap to drop him back?
I always turn and tap. You can do the tap to drop him back if you can't turn.
Okay.
Right? Like if you're in, I understand you're in Lakeview, there's people there, they're behind you, you can't turn. Is you always want to turn and tap because you're telling them, not that way, we're going this way.
Yeah.
Right? So like here I can tap, tap. I can already see him forging there.
Yeah.
So it's right shoulder to left leg. Okay, so heel is a very specific looking command. A lot of people go by, but my dog isn't as bad as they were. And like it's not about not pulling as much or anything like that. It's about very strict positioning because it's going to end up, he's going to end up pulling always. Okay?
Got it. And I'm just trying to test it right now.
Tap forward, tap, 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 tap. Tip, 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 tip.
I don't know.
Tip, 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 tip.
I'm at 8.
Tip, 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 tip. Yep, bump it. Tip, tip, tip. Tip, tip, tap, tap. There you go. Good. What's the number now?
85.
Yeah. Once his brain disengages, he becomes very sensitive. So then you'll just drop it down to whatever you had it before. And then, because last time it was the same number, I think it was 80, right? So just assume when you hit that pocket, when he tries to go into the fence, whatever, I would just up to 80, okay? Let's go and swap handlers real quick. Now have you show me just how he's walked with you.
Is that 75?
It's that bulldog in him.
No. I'm gonna put it back to like 35.
Good luck.
Okay, Minky, ready?
And that makes sense about when he gets too far ahead of turning. It's just, in my mind, I was like, okay, if I tap him now, will he drop back? And is that the best way to?
He will. It's just that it'll be a forever problem.
Got it.
Because the turn tells him, hey, you're going the wrong way, I'm going this way. And the tap to dial him back, I think Bill Murray's chewing on the pail. Tap, tap, tap. And relax your arm. Good. Tap, tap, tap forward. Yeah, you can see how he's just focused right there. Okay? I'm going to come to a stop here. And then tap, tap, tap. Right, so you see how he's locked down? You have to go in and bump it. Tap, tap, tap. What's your number?
63.
Tap. There you go. It's okay. And then up. There it is. Okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to add the verbal cue of heel. So last week we just said, start walking and tap him. Now you're going to have a word. Okay? So technically if you don't say anything, Wrinkles is free to like pull and do whatever. Okay? So you'll want to cue the word to turn everything on. And then break, of course, is the release of now you're off the clock. Okay? So what we're going to do here is you're going to say heel first, and then you're going to move forward with your left leg.
Okay.
So it's going to be heel. I know, you play all the time, huh? He plays with Walter all the time. You know. So you're going to say heel. Walter, yep. So you're going to say heel.
Heel.
Forward left leg. Okay? And now you're in the command. Okay? So you're going to walk, and then you'll come to a stop when you're ready. Right. So here, that stop was, even though you were going slower, was abrupt. You'd want to go even slower. Okay? So you're going to say heel, left leg.
Heel.
Like that. Good. We're going to repeat that a few times.
Heel. Heel?
Should his face be straight?
He shouldn't technically be staring that hardcore to the right because, like, see how he even curved right here
Yeah.
in front of Walter? Here it comes, wait for
And
it.
I was gonna say hi to Walter.
Tap forward. There you go. Go ahead and try walking and then coming close on that. I think he was cautious there because of that 80 hit from earlier. Tap forward, there you go. So you see how that was not an argument,
Yeah.
right? We're going to try that one more time. Yep. Very good. And come to a stop. Okay. This I'm not going to worry about because we're going to cover some stuff that's going to help fix this. Okay. Let's go on swap handlers. So you're going to do the heel and then the left leg.
Heel?
There you go. Good. Right.
Heel?
Better. And then, did we talk about the auto sit last time? No? Okay, then forget about it for now.
Or then he should sit down immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he does it most of the time. Two more.
Heel?
Tap forward, tap, 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 tap. There it is. Good. And then relax your arm. Okay, we're going to do one more.
Heel? Yeah.
Freddie's whining.
He's one.
There's no crying in baseball. Good.
Heel?
He doesn't want to look at Walter right now. Good. Going to come to that stop. Okay, but obviously he's still attached to Walter, right? So what you're going to do as you stand there is from in front of you, you're going to pull to that left and slowly give some taps to bring him over. Yep, tap, 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 tap. Like that. Good. I'm going to let that slide for now. Okay, but I just want him on that correct side. So you're doing everything correctly, and you can just see just how much drive he has to want to engage. Because you would stop and he was stopping with you, but he would still keep going just a wee bit before he'd come to that sitting position. It's because of Walter. Okay, so with the heel we have auto sits.
Okay.
So we don't say the word sit verbally because then he's not in the heel, he's in the sit command. Okay, so your new command always overrides the old command. So it's going to be heel, left leg, right? And then when you come to a stop, what you're going to do is we're going to start being a bit more strict with where he lands. So there was a couple where you came to a stop, but he kept going. So then if you see that, you just turn, tap, 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 bring him back to that leg, and then slow down to come into another stop.
Okay.
I don't have to be exactly perfect with you, but I'm trying to avoid this, okay? If it keeps happening, I'm going to teach you another thing that's going to help fix that. But then when you come to a stop, if Wrinkles doesn't sit by himself, You're gonna lightly pull up and tap until he puts that butt down with no words. Okay? And then once he sits, you relax, wait a moment, heel, forward. Okay? Go ahead when you're ready. Heel. Heel. That's fine. Heel. Good. Couple more. Heel.
When you say heel.
Why? So he knows that's where he. So he knows.
Good.
Heel. Oops, that was my fault.
Good. And heel, go and turn.
Heel.
And then slow to a stop. Alright, yep. And then here, yep. There you go. That's fine, right there. Good. So for Wrinkles here, so I actually don't tap after saying heel.
Okay.
But Wrinkles you can't. Because you have to set the tone.
Yeah, that's
So,
what
yes. Because he is so resilient on what he wants to do, is I would actually say, yeah, I'm not opposed to that.
Okay.
Right when you say heel, boom, you're setting the tone for like, it's business, right? And in the beginning it sucks. So the theory is as low as possible is how you do it. And I don't want dogs vocalizing, right? But it does happen where we get dogs that are just so physically tough that the owner's at a level where the dog's like, ugh, right? But what's happening is if you're so consistent with that, is it's a lot in the beginning, but once you wear him out, he's not going to push the boundary anymore. That you're correcting less, so then you're not getting the same vocalizations anymore or as much because you've already done all that work. Okay. So what we're going to do now are leg movements to cue the turns. Okay. So now you have your on switch, heel, left leg. That means we're going. Once you come to a stop, Wrinkles should automatically put that foot down. Okay. So this is fine. And then that's fine, good. So there's two types of turns. There's the crossover turn, and then there's the pivot, okay? The crossover turn is you're crossing over Wrinkles, and that's led with your right leg. So you would cut in at a sharp 90-degree angle like this, then your left leg, and then you cut in again, and you'd be going the opposite way, okay? So we're imagining like we're on the side, okay? So you're walking, you would slow down, Wrinkles should slow down with you, and then at least 2 to 3 steps of slowing down, and then you would go right, left, right, and then you go the opposite way. Okay? Do not be afraid to power through. So remember how you kept going like this, right? That's actually how I fixed that problem. Is when I come to, if I start to slow down to a stop, and the dog has a habit of crossing over, either to look at what's going on the opposite side, or just because they keep anticipating, is as they're crossing over, I'll cross over back, boom, and run through them with my leg, okay? And I'll just power through using my body language, and the dog goes back, and they go, crap. Every time I try to cross over you, I get in the way and you end up turning into me. So that ends up fixing that problem. And then they learn to gravitate to this little pocket here, because he knows if he goes too far forward, he's gonna get a leg up tap. Good. And then of course, when you're in the heel, laying down is not allowed. He has to keep this sitting position, okay? Because that's technically breaking command. So then the next one is the 180 pivot, which is what you were doing if Wrinkles got ahead of you, okay? So when he gets ahead of you, that 180 turn, right, the attack go the opposite way, that will always remain in effect. But this is a 180 turn when he's paying attention. Okay, so if you're walking and you just randomly do this, that would be unfair. So you would slow down, again, at least 2 to 3 steps. and then you're gonna go left, right, left, going back the opposite way, okay? People tend to do this turn naturally until I tell them to do it with specific movements, and then all of a sudden they start screwing up because they're thinking too much. But it's essentially the opposite. So left turn is right, left, right, and 180 pivot is left, right, left. Okay? Questions? So we're going to start with the crossovers first. We'll do a back to those. If all those look good, then we'll move towards the pivots. Okay? So when you're ready, go ahead and cue heel. Heel. Yep. That was correct. And go slow and then get ready for that left turn, leading with that right. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. Keep your arm relaxed and let your legs do all the work, okay? So if he starts to curve into you, just straight through with your legs. Bump, bump, bump. Left. Uh-oh. So, so you did a really sharp right, and you want to do more like a square. So you made kind of like a pointed triangle. That's why you ended up back at his rear. So cross right now. Right, now straight left, then cross right again. Boom, like that. There you go. Now turn, relax your arm. There you go. Right, left, right. Good, we'll try a couple more. Right, left, right. Right, left, right. Okay, so going to come to a stop. Let me show you what this guy, because he's very dangerous. It's okay, it's not my first, not the brightest dog. Not that he's not smart, it's that he's physically tough, that you have to really, 68, 79, you have to really power through. Okay, so always nice and relaxed. If you find yourself pulling back like this, something's off. You shouldn't need to do that. We should be in unison. So when you're moving in, because you're thinking and trying to figure out stuff at the same time, it's affecting the just kind of like the power of your stride. Okay, so heel. So if I'm walking at Wrinkles, and I slow down, right, left, right. Slow down, right, left, right. Slow down, right, left, right. So you said we turned on me on that one?
Yeah.
It's because I put power, right, left, right, behind those movements. Slow
But
down.
I slowed down, but then I didn't
You were like going gently
I
around.
was going gently around him, I should have just powered through.
Yeah, and that knowing how he is, I knew right away. I was like, he's not going to be a gentle right, left, right touch. I always accommodate, not accommodate, but I appropriate myself to the zone. So here, right, left, right. See how he's making space for me?
Yeah.
Because by using that power behind my legs, he's like, shit, don't want to get in Jesse's way. Slow down, right, left, right. Good. Yeah. Good. Slow down, right, left, right. Okay. So I'm not trying to hurt him. Good. I want to get my point across of you need to take me serious. Okay. So I actually have a case right now, super crazy resistant. Like the first class was just nuts. Okay,
Talk
ground,
over the camera.
biting on the leash, no. But it was chaos. And I told the owner, like, you're gonna have to muzzle train this dog and all that stuff because it's just really bad. She did all that. She had her first class here. She was like, everything's been doing really well. But then we had the muzzle on him, and all of a sudden he was just bucking around, right? And it just keeps lunging and lunging at her. And she's tapping. She's like at 70, just lunging and lunging and lunging, right? So I was like, here, let me step in. So the problem he had was he didn't like being told what to do with the collar. So he's just, going after the handler. So then I reciprocated back, and he jumped at me. But like I walked into him and boom, right off the bat. That was 60. No, right 27. After just one turn in, boom, because I made it personal. It's like you're coming after me, I'm coming right back at you. Dogs are like backed off. I was like, sorry. And then I was intentionally just like turning into the dog, turning into him, and the dog was like doing this, right? Because they bully each other, right? So like my pit, Lexi, I remember when I used to take her to the dog park, there could be like a group of dogs, and she would just go through very slowly and stoically, and she's like, boom, boom. She's like, plow her way through the dogs. That's dominance. And she's going, I'm asserting myself, I'm making myself know. Any problems? No? Good. Right? So it's kind of the same thing here. I'm asserting myself, I'm not being mean about it, I'm not yelling at him or anything, but I'm just going, I'm going to turn left. I slow down. I did my job. He was just elsewhere. Okay, boom. This is what happens when you don't pay attention. Okay? So then I'm proving a point without confrontation. Because he's just thinking, oh, I need to be more mindful of you because you actually slow down, but if I don't pick up on that, you will just plow right through me. And then we start to get the awareness of like, oh, okay, because now you have the collar. This tells Wrinkles closer, okay? And then this tells Wrinkles either too close or don't come in front of me. So if I'm coming to a stop and I start to see this curve around, if you can time it correctly, boom, I just start moving in using that right leg to power through, okay? So I'm gonna do a couple more. There we go. Heel. Tip, 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 tip. Slow down. Right, left, right. Now I can have a subtle left turn. Slow down. Yep. So tap means come closer. Right, left, right. Okay, do one more. Tap means speed up. And slow down. Right, left, right. Good. Then you see a right shoulder, left leg. Right? And you see a tension here. Right? Because I made myself mean something to him through both this, but then and my movements. Okay? Just be mindful when you do this with him that you don't have the box on his right side, because then you're going to be kneeing into his box of the collar. Tap, 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 tap. There you go. Right, left, right. There you go. Good. Good. Right, yep, boom, boom. Better. That was good. Right, left, right. Much better. Two more. Left, right, good. And then one more. Tap forward. There he goes. There you go. Very good. See how smooth that was? Good. And he actually seems a little calmer. You notice that? So, So there was that case I told you about. I also had another case with German Shepherd, and when the husband left, started going nuts. So then the wife was like tapping the dog, and the dog just kept blowing up. So then I was like, turn into the dog and really just knee, boom. And then within like 5 turns, the dog calmed down. So it's a different kind of correction. Sometimes remote can escalate. So like let's say you're with Wrinkles, and like you see him getting distracted by what's going on over here, like a dog or something, and you tap him, and he seems unfazed by it. You have the option of cutting in if you have the space, and it's more of an abrupt cut. Okay, because you're just trying to take the opportunity to catch him off guard, so you can have the actual physicality of the leg turning in. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do those pivots now. So that's going to be the left, right, left. Okay. Left, right, left, going 180 back the opposite way. Okay. Whenever you're ready. Heel. Turn. Tip, 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 tip. Nice try. Good. He's like, more dogs in the pen. Good. Good catch. There you go. There you go. That was fine. Good. Keep straight. There you go. Bump. Yeah. Almost. That was a good move. He just didn't line up well. Yep. Because you did your movements correctly, but he's doing this now. Okay? Yeah, so go ahead and you're going to keep straight, okay? And if you notice Wrinkles like trying to curve over you, instead of like trying to pull him back and curving out, keep that route, keep that path, just boom, just power right through, okay? And it's really on that right leg, because the right leg moving forward is going to push him to the left. Okay? Left leg going forward, if he's too far gone, pushes him off to the right.
Got it.
Okay?
Heel.
There you go, skip pivot. Okay. There you go.
High enough for him to recognize.
He is so... Oh, man. Good pivot.
Good job.
And try one more turn. There you go. Now, was there a tap on the turn?
No.
No tap?
No tap.
Okay, let's try a couple more. That's just him yipping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heel.
Yeah. Try doing a left turn here with some power when you can. Right.
That time it was.
Yeah, there was that one and the last one, right?
No, yeah.
Good. Go ahead and slow down. Good. So you might have been just a little edgy from the higher hit, because every time you turn is when you tap. So he was probably anticipating a hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
He yelped, but I didn't tap, and then this time I didn't, but then when I turned this way, I did.
You did.
He was behind me.
Correct. And there was no. Hey, look at this guy. So now what you're going to do is I'm going to have you go between those two turns, the crossover and the pivot, however you want, but you're going to change it up randomly.
Okay.
Okay, go for it.
Wrinkles. Heel.
Good left turn. Yeah, very good. Good. Good pivot. Good left turn. Just a couple more. And then one last turn. Good, and then slow to stop when you're ready. Look at that, much better. Okay, you're doing a really good job, by the way. Most people aren't, I'll tell them to be like really liberal with the taps, and they're not, and you are, and that's why he's actually doing better. Okay?
He's crazy, yeah.
Let's go to swap handlers.
Thank you. 3.
All right.
Your name crazy is not Wrinkles.
Wrinkles.
Who came up with that name, by the way?
Me. I had like a stuffed animal growing up. That was a bulldog.
Oh yeah?
Nope,
His
no.
name was Wrinkles, and I always wanted a dog, and just my parents never wanted one,
Wrinkles.
so
Tip, tip,
I never
tip.
got one.
Sure,
And
tip,
then-
tip, 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 tip. There you go. Oh, so you never had a dog growing up?
No.
Gotcha.
And so
tip,
finally, you know, we had talked about it for years, and then we decided to.
Wrinkles.
Tip, tip. There you go.
Good boy.
We got quite the dog.
Yeah.
He's a handful. All right.
What's
He's
it
lovable too, so it's hard sometimes to be like,
to distinguish the two? Yeah.
yeah, you know, like we know you're misbehaving, but he's like friendly with everyone, so it's like, come on, man.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good
how
personality.
it's that's a very common perception, you know, because you like 99% of the time Wrinkles is like sweet Wrinkles or whatever, right? And
Yeah.
then there's that 1% when like he sees something that's distracting, and then it's like like you know.
Yeah.
So, what was the number you were operating at, Bryce, earlier?
So I was at between 50 and
You were at 55.
Tip, 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 tip. There you go.
I'm only at 40.
Okay, let's go up to that 50.
Okay.
I was between 50 and 65, just depending.
Tip, tip. Yep, you're good. Right there. Okay, so we're gonna start first with those crossover turns.
Okay.
That's leading with the right. Okay, go ahead.
Heel.
Tip, 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 tip. There you go. Bill Murray.
That's a puppy over there.
Yeah, he's a bulldog puppy. Okay. Now that one you led with your left leg.
Oh.
You want to lead it with your right
Lead with
leg.
my right. Okay.
Correct.
I feel like he's really far behind.
That's okay.
Okay.
I'd rather have behind than in front.
Okay.
Okay, because especially with the turns, if you try to turn while he's in the front, it's not going to work. That's why we always have to correct. A little bit behind is perfectly fine. Left, right. Okay. I'm going to have you make that right cut very pronounced
Okay.
and also assertive. Left, right, much better. There you go. Let's try 4 more just like that one. Okay, so you see how that was kind of awkward?
Yeah.
You did lead with your right, but you did a 45-degree cut as opposed to a 90-degree
Okay.
cut. So that's why you end up more so leading with your left. There you go, like that. Okay, in the beginning it's awkward because you have to think about it, but then once you get used to it, it's just like a normal turn. It's just you're leading with the right. There you go. Good. Try a couple more. See how you just turned his head with that leg? Good. One more. Power, power. And then slow to stop. Tap. There. Good. So, couple things. When you first took them, see how I just kept launching?
Yeah.
Right? And part of it is just too low. Because you're tapping, and as soon as you hit that 50, which is where
Yeah.
he was operating, boom.
He was right there.
Right away,
Yeah.
everything started to sink in, right?
Yeah.
So whenever you're working with him, it should be like that black and white when you have the number. If you just see like, man, Wrinkles, why are you texting so much? It's probably just too low. So as soon as you hit that right number, boom, he came to your side, and all of a sudden he's been really good.
Okay. Yeah.
That last one here, he started to curve out in front of you.
Yeah.
So you had one of two things.
So I should have pivoted.
You could have pivoted.
Yeah.
Or two, because you started that left turn, you have to commit and just, boom,
Boom.
okay,
Okay.
just swing right through, okay? Because otherwise, if you try to like accommodate him,
Right.
like he sees that.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's like, oh, like you're turning left and I got in the way and you didn't power through like Jesse and Dan did.
Okay.
Okay, so you're not being mean, you're just doing what dogs do. Okay, so now what we're going to do now is the pivot. That's going to be the left, right, left, going the opposite way.
Okay.
This, of course, we only do this if he's paying attention. If he's not paying attention, you just simply 180 turn tap. Okay?
Heel.
Perfect. There you go. Just power straight. There you go. Good. He tends to overcompensate a little bit on the turnaround. As long as he slows down within that second, you're fine. Right there. See how he goes up a little bit, but then slows down? That's fine.
Is this okay where he's like,
Really
looking?
checking out.
I would tap him.
Okay.
that's not what's happening. He
Yeah.
wasn't like engaged with
Yeah, you're just being very strict.
He's being okay, but he's like still doing it. He's just looking on there.
Good, we're gonna do two more. Good, and slow to a stop. Perfect, okay. Now what you're gonna do, same thing, you're gonna go through all those turns, but you're gonna change them up however you want.
Okay.
Okay?
Heel.
Tap forward, there you go. Man. Good, yep, power, there you go. Good move, there you go. Good, couple more. Has he played with Obi?
Obi's not a big fan.
Yeah, Obi's not a huge fan of the Wrinkles.
There's more when there's a puppy, we tried to get him interact and they didn't do well, and we haven't tried really again.
Gotcha.
Obi's just so calm and Wrinkles is like a maniac, so they're not.
Does Obi play a lot here though, or is he calm here too?
Obi, like if we have a lot, like plenty of tap females, he'll play. Males, he tends to be kind of like unsure around. But he is more laid back. What's that?
Hey, he's kind of a soft
He is.
As big as he is.
Yeah. Good turn, and then come to a stop once you're ready. Tap. There. Very good.
Good job, Wrinkles.
So here, if everything is working together well, so heel is two parts. Last week we focused on wrinkles and paying attention to you. right? Just that back and forth stuff. And then not just slow down when you're gonna stop, slow down when you're gonna turn. Now we have the cue, which turns everything on. And then we have specific leg movements to communicate what you're doing. Because he will never know what you're doing. He's not a right? So just like with driving, before we stop, we slow down. Before we turn, we slow down, we also use our blinkers. Think of those leg movements as your blinkers. And the slowing down, of course, is to let Wrinkles know like something is changing. So if he's paying attention and you slow down, you've done your part. If he keeps going, you just turn tap, tap, tap to correct him and then bring him back in. Okay? If you slow down and he slows down with you, then you would continue that turn as you plan. Okay? What I suggest in the beginning is after you've done his business, you do 5 heels to stops, 5 heels to left turns, and then 5 heels to right pivots to warm yourself up and then go for your walk. So you'd cover like the same amount of distance.
So like we have a back alley, maybe let him go use the restroom, then practice, and then take him out like on the street if he would.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And you're doing this practice just to like get your muscle memory going, because we're not used to having to do specific movements, right, to do on our walks, but because he's paying attention to you, and if you don't communicate, you're either going to trip over him or it's going to be just a mess, okay? So, I always tell people start with 5 heels, 5 crossovers, and then 5 pivots, then do your walk, because the hard part's going to be when you're on the walk, we're going to turn left when we hit the corner, right? Now you have to start timing it as you're moving on the actual walk, so then you would slow down and then turn at that corner and go the opposite way. Okay? You think here. Once you've mastered it, yep. Light pressure up, yep. There we go. Once you've mastered the turns and everything, you don't need to do that anymore. You simply apply them on the walks. Okay? Questions about any of that?
No, thank you.
Do we need to be saying break, or that's something we struggle with too when we would come closer to other dogs, right? Say he's in a heel, like where we have him, like he's been behaving, like doing what we should be, and then another dog is coming this way. Do we continue on with the heel, the command, or how do we break that? So that
I guess like especially if we want them, like want him to say hi to the other dog.
Sure. So what you would do is like, let's say I'm walking with my dog, you know each other.
Yeah.
You would step aside like you are, he'd be in a sit, and then as they're approaching, like if they're going to say that, like, you should just give us a second, and then cue break.
Okay.
After you cue break, then they're free to greet.
Okay.
The reason why I say the step aside, because if you try to walk with Wrinkles, past the dog and say break as you're walking,
He's not going to understand that.
well, you'll understand it, but you're going to create a problem.
Oh, okay.
Is that every time he passes by a dog, he thinks you're going to say break, and you're going to let him go.
Got it.
Okay?
And it might not be all dogs, it might be, so pull to the side, have him stay in the heel, and then break him.
Correct.
Okay.
And then I would, some dogs, I would not let him greet.
Yeah.
So that he doesn't think it's a guarantee. Because then the next thing is, every time you step aside, he's going to think you're going to let me greet that dog.
Yeah.
And then he's going to start prematurely lunging, okay? Which will be a problem if he lunges at the wrong dog, okay?
Yeah.
So, the other questions?
No, we're not trying to throw too much, but on the streets, it's like, we're trying to do the right thing, but also we're not trying to confuse him or ourselves.
Sure.
So it's like,
Yeah, think of it this way, like when he's in the heel, he's clocked into work, right? There's nothing else he can do but walk at your side and sit when you stop. Okay, heel is walk with me, stay with me, sit when I stop. Sit when I stop, yeah. So if I see a dog approaching, and maybe I decide I don't want him to say hi to this dog, I can step aside. He should auto sit, and then you would shorten your leash just in case he gets impulsive. Okay, I would already have that number up. I'd probably be in the 80s range because that's what it took just to get him off of the fence, right? And then if he were to try to lunge or break position, you would pull straight up and tap. Okay, so always up. Up and tap should put him back in position, but up de-escalates, we're back, tap, we're back escalate. So if you pull Wrinkles back from a dog, it makes him want to greet the dog even more, even if you're tapping. So up always with the tap. Once he relaxes, you relax, keeping that leash short, okay? Once the dog passes, heel, left leg, then you continue moving. Otherwise, if it's a friend's dog, you know, they're like, oh, can they say hi? You know, and if you don't want to be rude, to say, like, oh, we're training Wrinkles, we can't just let him do whatever he wants. Do you mind holding for a second?
Yeah.
Then they stop, then you wait, Wrinkles break, and then you can go say hi. Okay? The reason why you do that pause and stuff is to add distinction. People tend to just go into things with their dogs, and then the dog learns a pattern. The dog just thinks that every time I see another dog, I can just say hi, right? So if you add a little bit of a gap in time, it just really cements in his brain, I have to wait for this cue before I can actively say hi. If you walk past the dog and you break Wrinkles as you're walking to say hi, then you're going to start to see when you pass by dogs, he's going to start lunging to say hi because he thinks you're going to release him. So then he becomes proactive with that, and that's a bad habit. Okay. Otherwise, like if you took Wrinkles out on a walk and you didn't want to do heel and just have Wrinkles be on a leisurely stroll, you just wouldn't say heel. The problem is if you say heel, and then like earlier when you said like you're only turning to bikini too much, that's a problem because he's into heel. And heel is right shoulder, left leg, very specific, very tight. If you haven't said anything, it doesn't matter what he does. Okay? So the only way you mess up your obedience is if you cue it and you don't reinforce it to the standard it's supposed to be.
Got it.
Okay?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So then, like, let's say you're walking with him and you decide, like, I don't want to have you heel anymore. You just simply stop. He sits. Wait a moment. Okay, break. And then he's loose.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So as long as you have those two words, you're perfectly fine.
That makes sense, the break. We need to do that. Okay.
Yeah, break is a formal off switch. Or some people say free, some people say okay. Doesn't matter as long as your word is consistent.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get it immediately, like let's say he's kind of apprehensive, what I'll do is I'll go on a walk, and during that walk I'll say heel, and I'll take a few steps and then stop. Dog sits, break, right? Doesn't do anything, heel, and I'll keep repeating that. Heel to break, heel to break, heel to break, until the dog just goes like, all right, and then starts to wander off on their own.
Okay.
Okay? And break, or whatever word you're going to use, is universal. So like when we cover other commands, the release from those commands would be
Whatever that is, yeah.
right.
Okay.
Where do you break?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Overall, do you think there was progression from?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, because we know what his number is. Like he's not the standard like lower number dog.
Yeah.
Which I already kind of figured because like when we've had to correct him here for like play and stuff,
Yeah.
he's tough. And plus he's a bulldog. And bulldogs are physically pretty resilient.
Yeah.
So I think as long as you have the appropriate numbers, like it kicks in right away. You know, when you had at the 50, like everything was really good. And then once we switched, then we went down and he started lunging and pulling, right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as you hit 50, boom.
He's back again.
Yeah. Okay. So then it's just finding those numbers outside. But from what I saw in here, 80 is like when he's in that really just zone to get him to pull back.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense. Okay.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
So for next class, we'll start the recall. We have long leashes that we use here, so that's fine, but you'll want to get one for yourself. You get them on Amazon, they're like $8 to $12.
We have like a retractable one. Should we get one that's like this?
You want one that's like that, yeah, because the retractable ones break. Okay, they're not good for training either, because they're very awkward to use.
Okay.
So you want to.
I never use it.
I like that. I like that.
I can't stand it because I'm like, ugh.
So the retractables, especially a guy like him, there's warnings on them. One of them is that the line can snap.
What?
And I've had clients, their legs are scarred up because of tension. Like they snap and they come back and they whip.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So there's that. There's also the risk of choking, and there's also the risk of amputation.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on the box. People never see that stuff.
She's like, I love this one. I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah. Especially with him, it gives you harness, and it's flexi leashes paired with harnesses are the worst. And I see so many people do that. But yeah, 30-foot long leash. You can probably even ask Andrew and Abby to see at least have theirs
They probably do.
from Obi. Otherwise, they're like $8 to $12 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy. Okay.
Good job. Good job.
So we'll get one this
Yeah,
week just so
we'll
we can bring it here so we can use that one and just be familiar.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank
Good work,
you so
guys.
much. Good
Even
job.
though he's stubborn, he's made some progress.
Great.
Good job.
Good job.